Week 1 of the Fantasy Football Playoffs is in the books, and with each and every contest coming down to the final minutes to determine a winner, let's take a look back at this weekend's matchups. T and Jerry had two head-to-head matchups this weekend. Let's start there. First stop, the Standard League, where T's The Addams Family faced off against Jerry's Delco's Finest. Both teams had started players for Thursday Night Football. Delco started one player, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who scored 10.30 points. The Addams Family started 5 players, most of her team, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery, Tucker Kraft, and kicker John Bates, with Green Bay wide receiver Jalen Reed. Now, at the end of Thursday Night Football, the score was the Addams Family with 68.1 points, Delco's Finest with 10.3 points. Although the lead seemed sizable, most of Delco's players had not played yet, and with Jalen Reed scoring a total of 0 points for the Addams Family. That's right, a donut. 0 points. That left the door open for Delco's Finest to make a Sunday comeback. Justin Jefferson led the way for Delco's Finest, scoring 32.2 fantasy points during the 1 o'clock games. Unfortunately, he could not complete the comeback on his own. It was a bad week for Delco's Finest, with his team's next highest score being Jerry Jeudy with 17.4. The Addams family's highest score this week was, fittingly enough, Devontae Adams, with 25.9 points scored this week, followed closely by Josh Jacobs with 24.6. Those scores and others were enough to overcome Jalen Reed's donut and propel T to a relatively easy win in the Standard League. Their second playoff game against each other was anything but easy, as both T and Jerry's teams went back and forth all the way to the last play of the Monday Night Football game in this Superflex League showdown. This playoff game was going to come down to Cup of Tea's CeeDee Lamb needing to score a few more points than the Pork Chop Express's Joe Burrow on Monday Night Football. This playoff game came down to the last plays of the game, with the lead changing multiple times in the fourth quarter alone. CeeDee Lamb put up a valiant 21.4 points, but in the end, it was Burrow, scoring 25.56 points, who helped eke the Pork Chop Express into victory lane with a final score of the Pork Chop Express with 135.84 to Cup of Tea's 132.76. In the end, it was a split between these two teams, with T securing the win in the Standard League and Jerry coming out on top in the Superflex Showdown. Congratulations to you both. Now on to our other matchups for the week. The common denominator in both matchups was me, yours truly. That's right, I nabbed the 6th seed in both leagues. In the Standard League, my team, Quarterfinals, dropped down to the 6th seed to face Kyrie's team. I already won. With both teams' players scheduled for Sunday games this week, it was going to be a 24-hour slugfest. Both teams throwing haymakers with the league changing hands every few minutes. My team, Quarterfinals, was led by San Francisco running back nobody heard of 3 weeks ago, but since Christian McCaffrey was hurt, I scooped him up off the waiver wire. Him, Jalen Hurts, and Cooper Kupp all scored over 20-plus points. However, it was not enough, as Kyrie's team I already won was led by Sam Darnold, who scored 34.58 points. The final score saw I already won winning this matchup with a score of 145.18 to 134.92 and advancing to the next round. Congratulations, Kyrie. You son of a bitch. On to the Superflex Showdown matchup, which saw Ben's 3 seed going against my 6 seed, Henry Given Sunday. This game looked over on Sunday night. Throughout the day, Ben's team had a sizable lead. Justin Jefferson, he started the day by going off for 32.2 points, bringing Ben's lead to 82.6 to my 60.4. Down 22 points with 3 players left to play against Ben's 4 players left to play. It wasn't looking good. Sunday Night Football came, and even though Ben's quarterback, Josh Allen, scored an insane 51.88 fantasy points, my wide receiver, Puka Nacua, kept me in at scoring 41.8. I had one player left going into Monday night. Ben had two. Wide receiver T. Higgins and kicker Brandon Aubrey. Going into Monday Night Football, Ben's lead grew to 139.38 to mine 123 points. Down 16.38 points, I needed a miracle. I had my fantasy season on the line, and it all came down to one player for me, Jamar Chase. And my God, did he deliver. This game came down to the wire, but with that final touchdown, Chase's 45.10 points helped me secure this victory for yours truly, Henry Given Sunday. Let's take a look at this week's championship semifinal rounds. In the Standard League, we got CD's Nuts, Tom, going head-to-head with the number 5 seed, T, D. Adams family. Then we have the 2 seed, Gonna Take That Dioc, versus number 3, I Already Won. In the Superflex Showdown, we have the number 1 seed, Gives Me the Money, going against the number 6 seed, Henry Given Sunday. And the number 2 seed, Lamar Lago, faces off against the Pork Chop Express. 2 more rounds before we have a champion. Good luck.